Hello, friends of Komodo platform. Hello, welcome to December, friends of crypto price charts. I'm you, Giuliano. It is the 1st of December, the final month of 2021. We have monthly candle closes to take a look at. And also, wow, I want to show you something. So I will share you the screen right now. By the way, thanks for being here. And I just want to recognize that KMD is not forgotten. All right. So if you're wondering what's going on, does anybody even recognize what's happening? Poison recognizes it. And so if you want more, go check out at Poison there on Twitter, and there's Discord and all that for even more crypto price charts. So definitely do that if you are interested. But here you have a look at the KMD USDT, I guess here would be. Yep, on the Binance on the 1-day price chart. And as you see, this is full respect to Poison there for giving us our KMD USDT for the day. So there's your idea. Okay, thanks. So now I'm going over to the getaurox terminal, and we're going to look at, we'll take a look at the BTC, and then we'll look at the KMD. We'll come back later with some more crypto price charts. Take a look at some monthly candle closes and such. So where are we here? I think we are going to relieve ourselves of this move. So just so we can focus on one thing at a time. We are in our zone here as outlined yesterday and saying, all right, well, so far so good. In fact, nice green candle. This line is this downtrend line being considered. And so we'll see what happens tomorrow. Also, we'll see how the day closes. As volatility has appeared, it wouldn't surprise me if the day ends even red. But let's go shorter time frame to take a look and say, maybe not red, but there is some room for sideways and down in terms of this action. There is also room for a pop up, and then this is what we were saying, right? We were saying, okay, next move would be to go into this zone here. So it might be coming, but I get the sense maybe down first before we move into here. But this then becomes the zone. I guess we are moving in towards there the next few days. But at some point, let's go back to the daily and show that we are basically ready to go with some positive momentum in the green histogram, on the positive side of the scale here. Definitely looking like it. And yeah, that would push the weekly out a little bit more and hopefully prevent this cross from the MACD and signal. But that's neither here nor there. We'll look at the daily, and that's why, let's say on the daily, if we're not going long term up, we might just be going up and then out and down. But for now, really, we're watching for this zone to get basically captured and move from there. It might be a quick move out of here, and then we're right up in here by the middle of December, and now we're talking 60K. Now, the way Bitcoin moves, you see these candles, we can be there in 2 or 3 days because it is a daily move here. So now the sense becomes maybe the daily move is to the upside a little higher. Maybe we're going to 60K before then coming back down and testing around 58 or wherever it needs to be. And at that point, the theory of moving sideways out of this channel and that sort of thing is still in play. But I think a stronger move would be in play first before that, like at least a move to the 64 and back down. But actually, something at the 61 is actually probably reasonable if that's the case. However, that would be definitely less strong than moving here, and then wherever this needs to go, whether it's just here or down further, that's fine. Yeah, so that's the BTC. It's doing what was expected, and if we take it down to the 4-hour again, just to get a bit more clarity, I think we're going to get rid of this downtrending channel. So hopefully it doesn't show up again. And yeah, because we're basically out of it, if we do dump back down, we'll bring it back in. It's basically the trend line that has been broken. Now this is our significant trend line here, as you can see. All right, so that's it for the 4 hourly. It's just neutral at this point, as best as it can be, to keep confusing us. So let's move over to KMD. That's the one we're looking at, because back in the 1700 Satoshis, whoops, here's our monthly candle close on the Binance price chart. It's the red one, not the green one. Don't get too excited yet. It's red. Question is it the end? If we talk about actual closing prices, it's the lowest closing price in the history of KMD price chart against BTC, around the 16, I don't know the official close, okay, but 1670s, you know, where previously it was around 1700. So it's about 1% below the previous all-time low closing price. So at some point, the all-time low is coming, 1.5%-ish. And it might still need to be. It definitely could continue. Oops. Definitely could continue in this direction. This is a monthly time frame. However, we if the previous technical analysis is has any mustard, then we can start dipping our hot dog pretty soon. Okay, or sausage or whatever type of steak. Maybe you want to dip some carrots in there. Put it on your fried potatoes, whatever you like. Anyway, so there's a monthly thought process. If you want to check it out, a more in-depth thought process, check out the previous video on the KMD 3-year down wave. Yeah, here's the weekly. You know, we're trying to stay above this uptrending channel. So that's the preference here. When we come to a daily, start to wonder what is coming. Well, my guess is we're going to see some flattening, or we're going to have the pop up back into this box zone here. But beyond that, wow, this is a daily price chart. Beyond that, in the BTC, we have two options here. We're either, because this is what's happening, we're either building the momentum now, which it actually looks like we could be doing here for a bigger move, or we're just waning here and we're going to go down. I won't be surprised if we pull off a bigger move right now. It looks right. I don't know why price moves when it moves, right? It's just the psychology of the market and the actors in the market taking their decisions in one direction or another. And in this case, it's in the direction of BTC or the direction of KMD. And yeah, I mean, we've been waiting for this. So I guess that's still my bias. Bias is to the upside. Definitely biases to the upside. Look, if the next daily, so if this daily candle closes like this, and then we have one or two more green candles, we're definitely up here and we're challenging top of the Bollinger Band. We're nearing this Ichimoku cloud. We're in this box that we previously outlined as an important box to hold, really, going forward, because as we see this rising channel move up, then we start squeezing against the Ichimoku cloud. If we start falling below this stuff, then we're continue being weak. But again, this is only a daily price chart, and on the monthly time frame, lower lows is potential. How much, by how many percent? Not sure. It's more of that sideways correction. But whenever there is altcoin strength, I think that's when KMD is also going to participate. And we're getting a lot of important things happening, like also the 200 period moving average coming steeply down to meet the price. We have the 20 period moving average. So at some point we're going to cross those. When was the last time we crossed? Probably over here. Yeah, none of this held. Like we just popped right through, and then there was nothing held, not even one proper test that held. So, and then we were very choppy around it back here. So it's another time for KMD to present itself with the 200 period average, this time on a more flat basis. I think we can find instead of, moving down and then up and chopping with that. And the price and the 20 period average, the 200 moving average, they all relate to each other in terms of how they're constructed. The price is just based on the actual spot, but the averages, they take into account the history of the spot. And so because of the ideas of like homeostasis, reversion to the mean, and those kinds of ideas, I think that's important to consider. And so is the Ichimoku cloud. That's also made up of what's it called? Averages and that sort of calculation. So all of this is coming together right now. And I think that promotes the opportunity either for that further dumping, or it promotes an opportunity to get above it. This, again, we have this zone outlined because it's such an important zone, and that will mean being above 20, being above 200, being above 20. I don't know what 20 will do. But having said that, it's happened before back here, and it just doesn't really seem to matter. Unless you like to buy low, sell high, and then buy low. And then hopefully sell high. Well, that's what we're looking for. And on a longer term time frame, right, we must find bottom somewhere. Here is the zero line. This is basically the zero line on KMD. And from here, what are you losing? At best, you're losing another 90%. So KMD has already lost 90%. Keep losing 90%. But I guess from each position, you're always losing. When you go to zero, you're always losing 100%. So KMD could always lose 90% of its value, no matter where it is. It's just that at some point it would be more and more irrelevant. But again, I'm coming from a neo-wave theory, Elliott wave theory perspective, that there's, on every fractal scale, there are ups and downs and ups and downs and ups and downs and ups and downs. And the trajectory can be higher, trajectory can be lower, sideways, and this happens on the macro, happens on the micro, and in between. So in this case, we have this long move down. That means at some point we get the move up, okay? That's basically the idea. And so KMD is looking good overall. It continues to look good against BTC in terms of the potential. Because here's the thing, what it has working for it is actual capacity. KMD Komodo platform has capacity through Atomic Dex API, through KMD Daemon, through all of its ecosystem infrastructures that are being built out. And so it's looking good, but let's watch it. Stick around if you want to keep watching it. Let's just do a little bit of observation for the 4 hourly, for those of you who love your price charts and you like looking at the action of the price and how it relates to things. Well, guess what? So we did come all the way down to this cloud area and to the 200-day moving average. 200 period. So it's a 4 hour price chart, but the 200 moving average, and bounced off of it and went right up, well, through that cloud, but right up to the resistance of the cloud, right? So soon. If it was only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles previously, maybe it would have made it here, but still we might have fallen through, as we see with this red candle. But maybe it would have. This is no point for maybes. So we get up here into this Ichimoku cloud. We're gonna get some sideways and down action, and it might not last too long, or we're going to get just a little bit of this kind of positive and then more negative. Could be needing a bit more negative, but that means a more positive to come. And in that sense, I'm thinking, yeah, actually we're the likelihood, my sense is we are going to get bigger. So that's the bias right now, for sure. Whoops. Bias right now is to the upside, and that means to stay in this kind of area, try and keep that and hold that, and actually move higher in the coming days. Yeah, we're trying to get up here, trying to get above, sorry, this box. So, oops, first we're in the box, and then we need to get above it. But that'll be a task in its own. And this is a 4-hour time frame price chart on the daily. We're nearly there. We're getting rejected by the box on the daily, you see. So interestingly, maybe we still need to test the 20-period average on a significant basis. So that's at the 1633 level. The only concern here, one concern here is like you make the down, you get up a bit, and then you come down more. Okay, if you're, when I say concern, it's not a real concern. I already talked about how it can go down further, right? Might be another month or two on the monthly time frame. We'll close it out on the monthly. Might be another month or two before we really find the turnaround, that we notice the turnaround. I was reading the Sovereign Individual, and it makes sense now, like on huge macro historical levels. It's like you could maybe for example, you point to here as the turnaround, even though it looks like here it hasn't turned around yet. But then when you look at the long-term view, you say, okay, actually this was the turnaround here. And then it did its thing, and then it did its thing, if you know what I mean. Okay, yeah. All right, that's it for now. Wishing you well. Stick around, and we shall see what happens on the KMD price chart and the BTC price chart and more. Yeah, I'll come back with some more monthly candles and some more thoughts. Okay, take care for now. Wishing you love, peace, and happiness. Goodbye.